Johann. This is not meant to be understood with the mind alone. What you are about to hear is not information. It is activation. It is remembrance. It is the stirring of something ancient within you that has been waiting, patient as stone, for this very moment. You did not arrive here by accident. There are no accidents in a universe that breathes with intention. You were drawn here, called here. Something within you recognized the frequency of these words before you even heard them. And that something, that is your inner strength awakening. The ancients knew what modern seekers have forgotten. They understood that strength is not something you build. It is something you remember. It is not something outside of you, waiting to be found in a teacher, a practice, or a sacred place. It has always been inside you, coiled like a golden serpent at the base of your spine, waiting for permission to rise. This knowledge was hidden, not because it was dangerous, but because it was powerful. And power, true power, belongs only to those who are ready to wield it with awareness. You are ready now. As you listen to these words, whether in waking stillness or in the depths of sleep, transformation is occurring, not because I am giving you something new, but because I am reminding you of what you already are. Breathe now, deep into your belly. Feel the expansion. This is where we begin. Chapter 1. The Forgotten Temple Within. Have you ever felt it? That moment when you knew, absolutely knew, that you were capable of more than your life was showing you? That wasn't imagination. That was remembrance. Inside you exists a temple, not metaphorical, not symbolic, a real structure of energy built from the architecture of your soul, constructed before you took your first breath in this body. The ancients called it by many names: the inner sanctum, the secret chamber, the throne room of the self. Most people walk past this temple every day of their lives and never enter. They circle its walls, admiring the exterior, reading the inscriptions, but never pushing open the door. Because to enter requires something they have been taught to fear. It requires you to meet yourself as you truly are. Your inner strength does not live in your muscles. It does not live in your willpower, or your determination, or your ability to endure suffering. These are echoes of strength, shadows cast by the real thing. Your true strength lives in this temple, and it has been waiting for you. Think back now. Recall a moment when you felt unstoppable, when fear could not touch you, when doubt seemed like a foreign language you no longer spoke. You have felt this before, even if only for a flash, a fleeting second, where everything aligned and you knew without question that you were exactly where you needed to be. That was not a fluke. That was not temporary confidence or lucky circumstance. That was you standing in your temple. The teaching that was hidden from you is this: you can return to that temple whenever you choose, not through effort, not through sacrifice or years of meditation or perfect spiritual discipline, but through simple recognition. You are already there. The temple is not a destination. It is your natural state. Strength is not something you achieve. It is something you stop hiding from. Notice how your body responds to this truth. Notice the subtle shift in your breath, the softening in your shoulders, the quiet hum of recognition in your chest. This is not you learning something new. This is you remembering something ancient. The temple within you is built from unshakable foundation stones, each stone carved from a different aspect of your being. One stone is your capacity to feel deeply and not be destroyed by feeling. Another is your ability to see clearly even when others are blind. Another is your knowing, that deep cellular understanding that needs no proof, no validation, no external confirmation. You have been taught to seek strength in the world, to look for it in achievements, in other people's approval, in the accumulation of things that prove your worth. But strength that comes from outside can be taken away. The strength inside your temple cannot be touched by any external force. It cannot be diminished by failure. It cannot be stolen by betrayal. It cannot be weakened by time. It simply is. And you are remembering now. With every breath, every word that passes through your awareness, you are walking toward the entrance of your temple. The door is already open. It was never locked. You were simply taught to believe you didn't have permission to enter. But permission was never something you needed. You built this temple. Every stone, every column, every altar inside was placed by you before you forgot who you were. Welcome home. Chapter 2. The Mirror That Reflects Truth. Here is what the hidden teachings reveal. The world you see is a mirror, not sometimes, not metaphorically. Always, literally, absolutely, every circumstance, every person, every challenge that appears in your reality is reflecting something back to you. And when you activate your inner strength, you gain the ability to read this mirror with perfect clarity. Most people look at their lives and see randomness. They see unfairness. They see obstacles that have nothing to do with them, placed in their path by cruel fate, or bad luck, or other people's choices. But you are not most people, not anymore. The mirror reveals this. When you feel weak, you attract experiences that require strength, not as punishment, as invitation. The universe is not testing you. It is showing you what is ready to be activated within you. Think of a river. When the river meets a boulder, does it complain? Does it turn back? Does it see the boulder as an enemy? No. The river flows around it, through it, over it, and in time, the river shapes the boulder, smooths its edges, transforms solid stone into sand. The river does not do this through force. It does this through persistence, rooted in absolute certainty of its own nature. You are the river. You have always been the river. Your inner strength is not the strength of the boulder, rigid, resistant, unyielding until it breaks. Your inner strength is the strength of water, soft, adaptable, irresistible. This is the truth the mirror shows you. Every time you have felt overwhelmed, you are not too weak for the challenge. You are simply trying to be a boulder when you are water. Imagine now. See yourself standing before a vast mirror. It stretches infinitely in all directions. As you gaze into it, you expect to see your reflection, your body, your face, your familiar form, but instead you see light, pure, radiant, golden light, no shape, no limitation, just luminous presence. This is who you actually are, the body you inhabit, the personality you present, the story you tell about yourself. These are costumes, beautiful, necessary costumes that allow you to move through this physical world. But they are not you. Your inner strength comes from this light, from the part of you that was never born and will never die, the part that cannot be damaged or diminished. When you know this, truly know this, not just intellectually, but cellularly, everything changes. The mirror reflects your inner state. When you stand in your strength, The world must respond in kind, not because you are forcing it, but because the mirror has no choice but to reflect what stands before it. You have been standing before the mirror in smallness, in doubt, in the learned belief that you are fragile, and so the mirror has reflected fragility back to you. But you are not fragile. You have never been fragile. The hidden teaching whispers, change what stands before the mirror, and the reflection must change. This is not positive thinking. This is not affirmation or visualization or manifesting. This is law, universal law, as unchangeable as gravity, as constant as the turning of the earth. When you activate your inner strength, you transform what stands before the mirror. And reality, obedient as a faithful servant, reorganizes itself to match your truth. Have you noticed how the same situation can feel unbearable one day and completely manageable the next? Nothing external has changed, but your inner state has shifted. And suddenly, what seemed impossible becomes simple. This is the mirror at work. You thought you needed to change the world to feel strong, but the hidden truth is this: become strong, and the world changes to reflect your strength. Not someday, not eventually, not after you've proven yourself or earned it or suffered enough. Now, this breath, this moment, the mirror is already responding. Chapter 3, the alchemy of inner fire. Deep within your temple, there is a flame. It has burned since before you took form. It will burn long after this body returns to earth. This flame is the source of your inner strength, and it requires no fuel from the external world. The ancients called this many names: chi, prana, life force, kundalini. But the name matters less than the recognition. You carry fire within you. Most people spend their entire lives trying to draw warmth from outside sources. They seek fire in other people, in achievements, in substances, in distractions. They move from flame to flame, never realizing they carry an eternal fire inside their own chest. When you activate your inner strength, you stop seeking heat and start generating it. This is alchemy, the transformation of base metal into gold, not in a laboratory, but in the crucible of your own being. Everything you have experienced has been preparation for this moment. Every challenge was fuel. Every heartbreak was refinement. Every moment you felt lost was actually the fire burning away what was never truly you. You were not being destroyed. You are being purified. Think of gold. Pure gold must be heated to extreme temperatures, melted down. All impurities rising to the surface where they can be skimmed away. The gold does not lose itself in the fire. It becomes more itself, more pure, more valuable, more true. You have been in the fire. You have felt the heat. Perhaps you are in it even now, but you are not being harmed. You are being activated. Your inner strength is not something soft and gentle. It is forged in intensity. It is born in the moments when you thought you couldn't continue, but somehow did. When you believed you were broken, but discovered you were only breaking open. Breathe into your center now, just below your navel. Imagine that flame burning there. See it clearly, golden, steady, unwavering. This flame does not depend on your mood. It does not dim when you feel doubt. It does not flicker when others question you. It simply burns. And here is what the hidden teachings reveal. This flame is not just sustaining you. It is radiating from you. Every person you encounter can feel it, even if they don't understand what they're feeling. Your inner fire affects the field around you, shifts the energy of every room you enter, changes the quality of every interaction. When your flame burns bright, you do not need to prove your strength. Others feel it. Opportunities sense it. Reality itself bends toward your heat. But when you forget your flame, when you believe the lie that you are cold and powerless and small, you become invisible. You blend into the background. You wait for permission that will never come because you're the only one who can grant it. The fire within you has one requirement: attention, not effort, not discipline, not hours of practice. Just attention, recognition, remembrance. When you place your awareness on your inner flame, it grows, not because you are adding fuel, but because awareness itself is the oxygen that allows fire to expand. You thought you needed more knowledge, more time, more healing, more preparation. But you need nothing. You already have everything. The fire has been burning all along. You were simply taught not to look at it. Look now. Feel the warmth spreading through your body. Feel the power that needs no validation. Feel the strength that was never earned because it was always yours. This is alchemy. This is transformation. This is the hidden teaching made visible. You are the gold emerging from the fire. And you are magnificent. Chapter 4. The Language of Unshakable Presence. There is a frequency that true strength emits. It is not loud. It is not aggressive. It does not need to announce itself or convince anyone of its existence. It simply is, and everything in its presence recognizes it. This frequency is what the ancients meant by presence, not the presence of being physically here, but the presence of being so completely aligned with your inner temple, your inner mirror, your inner fire, that there is no gap between who you are and what you project. Most people are fragmented. One version of themselves in public, another in private. One voice for strangers, another for loved ones. One face for success, another for struggle. This fragmentation creates static. It disrupts your frequency. It makes you invisible to the very opportunities and people and circumstances you most desire. But when you activate your inner strength, fragmentation ends. You become whole, integrated, undivided, and reality responds to wholeness the way metal responds to a magnet, with instant, irresistible attraction. Have you ever met someone who commanded attention without trying? Who walked into a room and somehow everything shifted? Not because they were the loudest or the most beautiful or the most accomplished, but because they were whole. That quality, that magnetic pull, is not reserved for special people. It is available to anyone who remembers their inner strength. It is available to you right now, in this moment. The language of unshakable presence is not spoken with words. It is communicated through your energy field, through the way you inhabit your body, through the quiet confidence that comes from knowing, not believing, but knowing that you are exactly who you need to be. Think of an ancient tree, roots deep in the earth, trunk solid and certain, branches reaching toward sky. The tree does not question its worth. It does not wonder if it is good enough or strong enough or worthy of taking up space. It simply grows, steadily, patiently, absolutely. You are that tree. Your roots go deeper than you remember. Your strength is not something you must cultivate from scratch. It is already established, already vast, already unshakable. You have only to stop pretending you are a sapling. Notice now how you hold your body. Are your shoulders pulled forward as if protecting your heart? Is your breath shallow, as if you're afraid to take up too much space? Is your voice quiet, as if apologizing for existing? These are learned behaviors, trained responses, evidence of a world that taught you to make yourself small. But you're not small. You have never been small. Straighten your spine now, not with force, but with recognition. Feel the line of energy running from the base of your body to the crown of your head. This is your axis mundi, your world tree, your connection between earth and sky. When you stand in this alignment, you activate the language of unshakable presence. You do not need to speak it. Your cells speak it. Your energy field broadcasts it. Your very existence declares it. And the universe, always listening, always watching, always responding to the frequency you emit, has no choice but to match your transmission. This is not arrogance. Arrogance comes from insecurity, from the need to prove something. True presence needs no proof. It simply knows. And in that knowing, in that absolute certainty of your own worth and power and strength, you become a force of nature, immovable, unshakable, whole. The hidden teaching speaks, you do not need to become strong. You need only to stop pretending you are weak. Every moment you spend in this truth, in this aligned presence, reality reconfigures around you, not gradually, not eventually, instantly. You have felt this before. Those moments when you were so completely yourself, so utterly present, that everything just worked. Doors opened. People appeared. Solutions materialized. That was not luck. That was your frequency doing what it does naturally when you stop interfering with it. The language of unshakable presence is your native tongue. You have simply forgotten how to speak it. Remember now. Chapter 5. The Sacred Geometry of Inner Power. There is a pattern woven through all of existence. The spiral of a galaxy mirrors the spiral of a seashell, mirrors the spiral of your DNA. The sacred geometry that governs the cosmos is the same geometry that governs your inner world. This is not poetry. This is precision. This is the blueprint of creation itself, and it lives inside you. Your inner strength is not random or chaotic. It follows ancient patterns, mathematical certainties, universal laws that cannot be broken. When you align with these patterns, you access power that is not personal. It is cosmic. It flows through you, but it does not belong to you. You become a vessel for something far greater than your individual self. The ancients understood this. They built their temples according to sacred geometry. They aligned their rituals with celestial movements. They knew that power increases exponentially when it is in harmony with universal structure. You are a temple built according to the same principles. 7 primary energy centers along your spine. 12 layers of awareness radiating from your heart. Infinite connections between your inner and outer worlds, all following patterns as precise as the golden ratio, as perfect as a snowflake's 6-fold symmetry. When you activate your inner strength, you are not creating something new. You are tuning yourself to what already exists. Think of a radio. The signal is always broadcasting, but you only hear the music when you turn the dial to the correct frequency. Nothing about the signal changes. Your ability to receive it is what transforms. Your inner strength is the signal. It has been broadcasting since the moment you entered this body, but you have been tuned to the wrong frequency, the frequency of limitation, of doubt, of learned helplessness. Imagine now, see yourself standing at the center of a vast geometric pattern, lines of light extending in all directions, above you, below you, through you, each line representing a connection to something greater, source energy, universal intelligence, the field of infinite potential. As you breathe, these lines pulse with golden light. They grow brighter, stronger, more defined. You are not separate from this pattern. You are the pattern. When you remember this, when you feel this truth in your bones, your inner strength becomes limitless, because it is no longer just your strength. It is the strength of the entire cosmos flowing through the architecture of your being. This is why affirmations alone do not work. This is why willpower eventually fails. This is why you cannot force your way to power, because true strength is not about force. It is about alignment. The hidden teaching reveals, align with the geometry of your soul, and power becomes effortless. Have you noticed how certain things in your life flow easily while others require constant struggle? The things that flow are in alignment with your sacred geometry. The things that struggle are outside your pattern, imposed by external expectations that have nothing to do with your true design. Your inner strength knows the difference. It always has. That feeling of yes that arises in your body when something is right for you, that is your geometry recognizing itself. That feeling of resistance, of heaviness, of no, that is your geometry rejecting what does not fit your pattern. You have been taught to ignore these signals, to override them with logic, with obligation, with what others expect. But when you activate your inner strength, you trust your geometry. You follow the pattern that is uniquely yours. You stop forcing yourself into shapes that were never meant to contain you. And when you do this, when you honor the sacred geometry of your being, the universe conspires in your favor, not because you have earned it or deserve it or manifested it, but because you are finally in harmony with the pattern. And the pattern is always, always stronger than resistance. You are a cosmic blueprint made flesh, a walking, breathing expression of universal law, a living temple of sacred geometry. This is not metaphor. This is the truth that was hidden in plain sight. You are not small. You are infinite. You are not limited. You are precise. You are not random. You are sacred. Remember your pattern. Trust your design. Align with your geometry, and watch as your inner strength reveals itself to be what it always was, the power of the universe itself. Focus through the lens of your unique expression. You are the geometry. The geometry is you, and you are perfect. Chapter 6. The Return to Sovereignty. There is a throne in your temple. It has been empty for as long as you can remember, perhaps your entire life, perhaps lifetimes before this one. You have circled this throne, cleaned it, admired it, protected it, but you have not sat upon it, because to sit upon the throne of your inner temple is to claim something that you were taught belongs to someone else, something you were told you must earn, something you believed you were not worthy of. That something is your sovereignty, your absolute authority over your own life, your undeniable right to choose your path, your inherent power to create, to decide, to declare what is true for you. This is the final activation, the ultimate remembering, the completion of your return to inner strength. You are sovereign, not because of what you have accomplished, not because of what you know or how evolved you are, or how much you have healed. You are sovereign because you exist, because you are a consciousness inhabiting a body, because you are an expression of source energy, and source energy answers to no one. Most people spend their entire lives seeking permission to be themselves, permission to want what they want, permission to take up space and make noise and pursue their desires without apology. But permission is a trap, a beautiful, seductive trap that keeps you small and manageable and safe. When you activate your inner strength, you stop seeking permission. You reclaim your sovereignty. You take your seat upon the throne that was always meant for you. This does not mean you become reckless or selfish or cruel. Sovereignty is not the absence of care. It is the presence of deep responsibility. When you are sovereign, you take full responsibility for your life. No more blaming, no more victimhood, no more waiting for someone to save you or fix you or give you what you need. You become the source of your own salvation. Think back now to every time you gave your power away, every time you silenced your truth to keep the peace, every time you abandoned yourself to please someone else, every time you waited for permission that never came. Those were not mistakes. Those were lessons in what it feels like to betray your sovereignty. And now, you need never repeat them. The throne in your temple is not made of gold or stone. It is made of your own recognition. The moment you acknowledge your sovereignty, the throne materializes beneath you. You have been standing beside it your entire life. It is time to sit. Imagine yourself now walking toward that throne. Your temple surrounds you. Your inner fire burns bright. Your sacred geometry pulses with light. Every step you take toward that throne is a step toward yourself. As you approach, you notice something. The throne is not imposing. It is not uncomfortable. It is not cold. It fits you perfectly, because it was designed for you, by you, from the blueprint of your soul. Before you ever took human form, you sit. And in that moment, everything changes, not externally, not visibly, but energetically, cellularly, absolutely. When you take your seat upon the throne of your sovereignty, you activate the fullness of your inner strength. You become the authority in your own life. You reclaim every piece of power you ever gave away. And the universe, recognizing true sovereignty when it encounters it, bows, not in submission, but in respect, in recognition, in acknowledgement that you have finally remembered who you are. The hidden teaching reveals you were never meant to be ruled, not by circumstance, not by other people, not by your own fear or doubt or limiting beliefs. You were meant to rule, to govern yourself with wisdom and compassion and unwavering clarity. This is not about dominance over others. This is about mastery of self. When you are sovereign, you make conscious choices instead of unconscious reactions. You respond from your center instead of from your wounds. You create from your strength instead of from your scarcity. And in doing so, you become a lighthouse. Others see your sovereignty and remember their own. Your freedom gives them permission to claim theirs. This is how the world transforms, not through force or doctrine or converting others to your beliefs, but through one sovereign being at a time, taking their seat upon their throne, activating their inner strength, and radiating that frequency into the field. You thought you needed to wait until you were ready, until you were healed enough or wise enough or strong enough. But the throne does not require readiness. It requires recognition. You are sovereign now. You have always been sovereign. You will always be sovereign. The only question is, will you claim it? Your inner strength has brought you to this moment. Every chapter, every teaching, every remembering has been leading here, to the throne, to your sovereignty, to the full activation of who you truly are. Sit now, not physically, but energetically. Feel yourself settling into the seat of your own authority. Feel the rightness of it, the relief of it, the power of it. This is your birthright. This is your inheritance. This is what you were always meant to reclaim. And now you have. Welcome home, Sovereign One. Your inner strength is no longer dormant. It is no longer potential. It is no longer waiting. It is here. It is now. It is you. The continuous awakening. You have not reached an ending. You have reached a beginning. Every word you have heard, every truth you have remembered, every activation you have experienced. These are not one-time events. They are ongoing, continuous, eternal. Your inner strength does not peak and then diminish. It does not activate once and then sleep. It grows. It deepens. It expands with every breath you take in consciousness. As you move forward from this moment, carry this knowing. You are not the person you were when you began listening. You cannot be. Transformation has occurred. Not through effort, but through remembering. Your temple stands open. Your mirror reflects truth. Your fire burns steady. Your geometry aligns with cosmos. Your throne awaits your return. Whenever you forget, and you will forget, because this is the nature of being human, you need only pause. Breathe. Remember, the strength was always yours. The power was always yours. The sovereignty was always yours. Nothing has been given to you here. Everything has been returned. And now, as these words fade, as silence settles, as you continue on your path, know this: you are not walking alone. You are walking with the ancient ones who knew these truths, with the future ones who will remember them through you, with every sovereign being who has ever sat upon their throne and claimed their birthright. You are part of an unbroken lineage of strength, and you are magnificent. Rest now in your knowing. Move forward in your power. Live fully in your sovereignty. The activation is complete. The remembering has begun. You are exactly where you need to be. You are exactly who you need to be. You are strong. You have always been strong. You will always be strong. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of your legend. Go now. Live it. Be it. Breathe it. You are the temple. You are the mirror. You are the fire. You are the geometry. You are the throne. You are everything you have been seeking. And you are home.